Current Collective, creator of Evolutionary OKRs, and the voice of the Thinkydoers podcast. I'm doing a little series of back to basics videos, and the topic for today is how I got here when it comes to the work that I do with Thinkydoers. I introduced a little bit about who Thinkydoers are in a previous video, so you can look back if you want to hear that full description. The short version is Thinkydoers are people who are thinkers, but who are driven to make change and to make the change that we see and envision as possible real. We sometimes prioritize improvement over preservation of the status quo. And both of those things sometimes put us at odds with our coworkers and our authority figures. I've been a little bit of a misfit myself as a W 2 employee. I've had some wonderful jobs. I had an incredible career with lots of variety. People might describe me as a scanner, as a Renaissance person with lots of different skills and interests. And the only constant in my career has been change. But the thing that followed me from job to job is that what I was best at is seeing how things could be better. And I landed doing strategy work, which was my dream job as a strategist. My job was to identify how things can be great or how things can be better. What insights can we develop based on facts and observations about either how we can communicate more clearly with an audience or about what could actually be changed for the better in the world? But I struggled really hard even as a strategist, even when my remit was change. I struggled with being able to see an improved future that felt completely possible to me, and then not being able to achieve the organizational buy in or the executive championship to help bring that changed future to life. And this is not a unique story. There are frustrated change makers in probably every organization under the sun. So I always knew I wasn't alone, but over the course of my career, I did develop some pretty hefty insecurities and an inner voice that often asked questions like, what's wrong with me that I can't just figure out what success means? Or what's wrong with me that I can't figure out how to just go with the flow? Why can't I make my work simpler? What's wrong with me that I don't understand what it means to succeed here? It seems like the goalposts are always moving or like success is way too subjective for me to be able to aim for it and achieve it. I had a monumental shift in my career when I started working with objectives and key results. OKRs are a collaborative goal setting and alignment process that organizations typically use to create aligned, clear, objectively quantifiable goals that fill an information gap that a lot of organizations have sitting between their strategic inputs or their strategic plan and then what they plan to do. So, most organizations implement OKRs to help them connect the dots between their strategy and their execution or implementation. OKRs answer important questions about what success and progress mean in an objectively quantifiable way. I had heard about OKRs from a colleague and then read Measure What Matters. That's how most people get into OKRs. But I didn't work with OKRs organizationally to start. Objectives and key results filled a gap in my expectation clarity for my own work. I started creating those goals myself. And then I could align with my leader. I could check in and say, hey, does this line up with your expectations? Even in environments where the expectations weren't clear. And that way, I created a map for myself and my team. And what I found was creating my own definition of what progress and success meant that I could spend less time trying to read the minds of people around me about what they might be expecting for achieving progress and success. Basically, I became able to create clear expectations for myself, even in organizations where expectations were very unclear or really subjective. The transformation for me was huge. Working with OKRs increased my courage, my confidence, my ability to show the quantifiable impact of my work, and to build stronger business cases for the change that I was advocating for within my organizations. So once I saw the benefit of OKRs, working with them myself in my own work, that was when I gradually made the shift to working with OKRs full time to help other people and organizations experience that transformation for themselves. And over time, working with OKRs myself for my work and my team helped me shift from always doubting myself, from having that feeling of, what's wrong with me that I don't understand what's going on here, to being able to see that in some of the organizations I worked with, there were actual gaps in available information or clarity of expectations and enunciation of objectively measurable targets that we could all aim for. In other words, some of the environments I worked in were really biased or highly subjective in ways that might work for some people, but with me and my wiring, it didn't work for me. Human labor is far too valuable to be spent on activities that we don't have a certain amount of confidence are designed to achieve the outcomes that we must. So working with OKRs helped me shift from having that nagging thought of what's wrong with me that I just can't fit in a normal workplace to what's wrong with these workplaces that they're not able to enunciate objectively quantifiable goals around our work, or that they're not able to take a learning or experimental posture around our goals. What's wrong with this environment that it isn't safe enough even for leaders to enunciate objectively quantifiable goals and clear expectations for their people? Because even leadership is sometimes afraid of sticking their neck out with a measurable goal that they might not have the confidence that they can hit. So that transformation, that shift from my inner story being, what's wrong with me, to maybe there's nothing wrong with me. I just need to find environments where they're picking up what I'm putting down. I just need to find environments where if the external expectations aren't clear, I'm able to create my own and then align them with my leadership so that I can create my confidence that I understand what success means and that I have some chance of being successful in the organization. So that changed my work, changed my career, changed my life, and led to me sitting right here talking to you today. Red Current Collective, I work with organizations to create that shift and create those benefits at an organizational scale. And then increasingly, I'm spending my time in community with other Thinkydoers, with individuals who are struggling with some of those issues I did early in my career, who need help learning how to identify their own criteria for success and learning skills that help them increase their confidence, focus, calm, and impact in their work. We're the folks who feel like we must have been out sick on the day in adulting school where everyone else learned how to navigate work and career successfully. And if you feel that way, you are definitely not alone. My work with Thinkydoers helps them, or us, live happier, healthier, and more productive work lives, and bring to life the change and improvement in the world around us that we see as possible, even if it's challenging to the status quo or traditional holders of power. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also find the Thinkydoers podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can subscribe to the Thinkydoers newsletter at findrc.co/thintysub. Bye for now.